Stocks, bonds, ETFs, straight out of downtown Chicago. This is Zacks Market Edge.
Welcome to Zacks Market Edge, the podcast about investing in your life. I'm your host, Tracy Reineck, and this week we are having the first podcast of 2025. We've turned the calendar, the page has been turned, and we're in the new year. So what should we be looking at for 2025? I decided to do a fun podcast to open up the year with the hottest stocks of basically the end of 2024, but they continue to be pretty hot here into 2025. What are these five creatures? I picked out five. There's going to be more than just these five, but these are the ones that are seemingly on everybody's lips. People are talking about them. They have incredible returns over the last 3 months. Can they keep it up? Should you be looking at them to add to your portfolio? Wait for some kind of pullback? Are they too hot to handle? These are all my questions about these hot stocks as we start the new year. But I saw a little bit of a pattern once I started going through the tickers, because I've been keeping a list of these hot stocks. And then I realized, I'm in all of one industry, and that industry is quantum computing. So I thought that was a little boring. So I needed to get out of that a little bit. So I added some AI and some Bitcoin to this list just to spruce things up. But as I said, they're all hot as we start 2025. So let's start with the quantum computing stocks, because those are the ones that kept coming up over and over again. Should you be investing in any of these? They've had big runs to end 2024. They're still kind of running here in 2025. But again, are they too hot to handle? So let's start off with the first one that I want to talk about. It's IonQ, ticker IonQ. Many of you have been asking about it in the comments on our YouTube channel for these podcasts. Be sure to leave other ones on there if you are interested in seeing some discussion about your favorite stocks, because I do look at the comments and I do aim to please on these matters. So definitely leave me some messages, but this is for sure one everybody's been talking about. So I brought it up here on Zacks.com again, and you can see it's a number 3, and it does have an F VGM score for the style scores, because the value is going to be an F. We know that. There's not going to be any value here. Over the last 3 months, this stock is up 422%. So it's been red hot. It's got the D for growth and the F for momentum. I'm not really sure why it's got that F for momentum when it clearly does have momentum, but there's a lot of factors that play into the style score. So something is not, it's not liking it in some area for momentum there. But just scrolling down a little bit here, you can see now the market cap of IonQ is 11 billion now. And then over here is the chart. And we do have the earnings consensus on the chart, but it looks a little bit down and to the right instead of up and to the right, which we normally see with these kind of really red hot stocks that have taken off in a short period of time. Usually it means that the earnings are also kind of taking off, but not with IonQ. So we only have one estimate on the company. They're expected to make 40 million in revenue this year and 80 million next year. So that's almost a double of the revenue. Well, it basically is a double. So I like that. Obviously, as you might expect, they aren't earnings positive yet. Expected to lose 86 cents this year, but $1.15. Oh, wait, this is 2024. What am I saying? I'm not used to doing podcasts in 2025. So last year they were expected to lose 86 cents, and this year losing $1.15. So that's what we saw on the price and consensus part of that chart, where it's not going up and to the right. It is actually going down and to the right, which is not the greatest outlook, and not what I like to see, but not surprising. We have the Zacks rank of number 3 as well. No changes to the estimate in the last 60 days, neither up nor down for 2025. So we're just going to wait for the next earnings report on this one. But these quantum computing stocks have been red hot, as I mentioned, and this is one of them. And so that's really what it entails right now. Wait for that earnings report. But this is pretty red hot to have maybe a decline in earnings for this year. So I'm on the sidelines on this one, but everyone else is not, because it continues to trade and make new highs as even we started this year. But that's IonQ, IonQ. Okay, the next one in the quantum space is D-Wave Quantum. I like it when they put quantum in the actual name, so I know what I'm getting. The ticker on this one, though, is Q, B as in boy, T as in Tom, S as in Sam. So QBTS, I'm putting it in to Zacks.com to see what's going on with this one. It's also a number 3, which is the hold again. Style score is also an F on the VGM. So at least it's being somewhat consistent. This is a smaller market cap at $2.7 billion, and it's right now trading under $10. Now, this is one of the ones, if you look down here on the chart, it was under $2 until the very end of last year when the quantum story really exploded, and then it has soared 934.6% in the last 3 months, most of which it looks like it's been in the last month. So that is pretty intense gain there. But look at the price to consensus on this one. It's not completely up and to the right, but it does look like there's some earnings growth there after a pop in 2023. Then we have, 2024, then we have 2025 looking a little more bullish, and then even 2026 a little more bullish again. No PE because these stocks have negative earnings. So we're going to look at the detailed estimates on this one, which looks a little bit better than IonQ that we just talked about. So in 2024, expected to lose 41 cents. 2025, like I said, just a little bit better, expected to lose 38 cents. But that is a little bit better. So I do like that scenario. On the revenue side, expected to make only 8.7 million this year. So this is tiny, but given the explosion in the stock, that's why you get the big market cap. But 8.75 million on the revenue, but 15.4% or 4 million expected for next year. That's 76% gain for 2025. So we'll see how all this plays out in this next earnings report. And do we have a date when that's coming? It's coming late in the cycle, not until March with this one. So we're going to be waiting a little bit on this one. D-Wave Quantum, QBTS. And then another quantum computer is Rigetti Computing, ticker RGTI. I'm putting this one in as well on Zacks.com. This one's a little more well-known, is really taken off in the last 3 months, up 2,324%. It's a Zacks number 3, just like the others. We do have a D as in David on the VGM style score. It does have the A for growth. So that's boosting it a bit. There's going to be no value here with a stock that's up that much. And you can see in the chart, it's only had one earnings report. Market cap now of 3.7 billion. But look at this price to consensus, not terrible. 2025 looking better than 2024, and then maybe a little bit better there in 2026 as well. So not total bearishness on this one. Let's look at the detailed estimates, see what's happening there. Okay, so on the revenue side, 2024, 10.9 million. And then not as big of a revenue growth for 2025 as some of the others, just to 15 million, up 40.3%. We have a couple of analysts on this one, two analysts, or at least two estimates going on, and they have been making some changes for 2025, one up and one down in the last 60 days. So nothing else more recent, but 2024, a loss of 34 cents, and then 2025, a loss of 28. So that's the improvement you can see on that chart. But this one, these stories, once you start looking at these kind of new quantum computing stocks, are looking very similar for right now. But the stocks are as well up and to the right on the shares. But how long can that keep going? We'll see. We'll see how these earnings reports come in. For Rigetti, the second earnings report is also coming in March. Middle of March, it looks like. So tune in then, and I'm sure it will be quite a wild ride. These are heavily traded. They're fairly small. So be prepared. You're going to have to buckle up if you're getting into these. Rigetti, again, is RGTI for that one. Okay, now we're going to leave quantum computing because we're going to go to the other one that is also red hot, but it's not NVIDIA on the AI side. It is BigBear.ai Holdings, which is B as in boy, AI. So that's easy to remember. BigBear.ai is the actual name. It's the Zacks number 3, as you can see if you're watching this video. Value is F again, A for growth, A for momentum, and a C VGM score. So not quite as bad as what we've seen for the quantum computing. We've got some A for momentum. These shares are up 165% in the last 3 months. So that's still very impressive. But when you're talking 2,000%, it seems like, oh, that's nice, 165%. But you can see it here on the price and consensus and surprise chart. That's on our new quote page. And this one, interesting. It's kind of holding steady on the earnings, but we do see 2025 coming in a little bit higher again than 2024. Still not positive earnings. Market cap of little over 1 billion, no PE because we're still waiting to get that positive earnings. Let's take a look at those detailed earnings estimates to see how many analysts might be on this one. Okay, we've got a lot more coverage. It's a little bit bigger company. Revenue for for 2024, 168 million, 194 million expected for this year, 2025. That's a gain of 15% year over year. These are more kind of standard numbers because it's the AI side. Now, what Big Bear does is they do AI intelligence solutions. So they have a lot of government contracts with military intelligence kind of contracts, but they also do logistics, tourism, travel, the border. So that's kind of the area they're focused on the AI and using AI to have more efficiencies in those areas. So you can see 2024, a loss of 75 cents, but 2025, a loss of just 20 cents. I like this kind of growth much more than what we were seeing on the quantum side. They definitely have the contracts and they're getting, the business is coming in now. So hopefully it's only a matter of time before maybe we get some positive earnings on a company like Big Bear, but we're going to have to tune in and see what that growth is looking like as the year goes on. They too are going to report probably in early March. So we're waiting a little bit here, but this is one to keep on your watch list as well, but it's on the AI side, not on the chips, but in these other areas where they're actually using the AI and the data and all of that for, their business models. So that's BigBear.ai Holdings, BBAI. And then we're going to wrap it up with Bitcoin. As many of you know, I'm not a big cryptocurrency fan, but you can't ignore what's going on with Bitcoin and the ways you can play it by owning stocks. There are ETFs now that you can own Bitcoin through, so that makes it a lot easier. But I wanted to talk about the company you can own to own Bitcoin, and that is MicroStrategy. Yes, I'm featuring it here because over the last 3 months, let me look, it was up 86%. Again, that seems a little quaint compared to these quantum numbers, but that's pretty red hot comparatively to the overall market, especially. But not many of us getting that 86% over just 3-month time period. But Bitcoin is soaring, and now MicroStrategy moves in tandem with Bitcoin. And you can see, I brought it up here. We don't have a Zacks rank. We don't have any style scores because the analysts aren't actually covering MicroStrategy anymore, except cryptocurrency analysts might be. But as an actual company, we're not able to get data in, and the analysts aren't, they're not giving earnings estimates and things like that for MicroStrategy on Zacks.com any longer. So that's why that doesn't show, and it's not going to have a Zacks rank. Right now in the data, I'm recording this on January 7th. We're seeing must be a pullback in Bitcoin because the shares are down 10% here. In this trading day. So got to keep that in mind. If you own this, you're going to own it based on what Bitcoin is mostly doing. So again, we have some squiggly lines on this price consensus and surprise chart. We even have earnings surprises, but that all mostly ended in 2023. And now we don't have the analyst coverage. So there is no data for 2024 or 2025. Market cap now in MicroStrategy is 90.8 billion. So it's up there. It's very big, but you have to know you are buying MicroStrategy just for the Bitcoin end of things and nothing else. But the ETFs are also still available to you if you are interested in Bitcoin. But this is MicroStrategy, the Bitcoin play. MSTR is the ticker there. So these are 5 of the hottest stocks that are still holding on to most of their 3-month gains here to start 2025. Not surprising, the hot industries, cryptocurrencies. Then we have AI, of course, and now quantum computing. Can these 3 remain this red hot as we move through 2025? There's always winners, always losers, but AI has been hot for over almost 2 years now. So can that hold on to its title as well? That's going to be a big one to watch. But that industry seems to be expanding. A lot more companies coming into that space, a lot more uses for AI being developed all the time. A lot more ways to play AI. Quantum computing, I feel, will probably, hopefully, have the same kind of trajectory with just the industry has to build out. It's fairly new. You're going to have new companies forming, new ways and new products, new uses, and all of that will happen. So that's an area I'm going to be watching closely. These stocks are red hot, but always fun to keep them on your watch list. If you're going to wait for a pullback, there are always pullbacks. A lot of these charts look kind of similar to what NVIDIA was in 2023 when it started to take off. And it had the big upward gains right away in that year. But it's had big pullbacks too. So don't have fear of missing out on a lot of these hot industries because things usually calm down and there's usually entry points at some point at a later date. But let me recap these stocks again so that in case you missed them the first time, you have them now. So we had IonQ. That's a fan favorite of a lot of you on YouTube, I know. It's IonQ is the ticker, that one. Then we had D-Wave Quantum. It's QBTS. B as in boy, TS. Then we had Rigetti Computing, ticker R as in Robert, G as in George, T as in Tom, I. Then we had the AI, BigBear.ai Holdings, ticker B as in boy, B as in boy, A, and then I. BBAI. Then we wrapped it up with MicroStrategy, the Bitcoin play, ticker M as in Mary, S as in Sam, T as in Tom, R as in Robert, MSTR. And as always, you want to be sure to subscribe. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all of these podcasts. You can also get us on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon Music. And I'll be bringing you some very interesting shows here in 2025. I have our small cap analyst lined up again. He's going to be on soon, right here in the new year, to give us some new small cap options, because will the small caps finally break out and do their thing? At some point they will. What kind of stocks should we be in there? Are there more AI stocks? He was on last year and gave us some good small cap AI names, but maybe we want to be looking in quantum computing or some other areas. So I'm going to have him on, and you don't want to miss a single episode. So again, be sure to subscribe somewhere or get us on YouTube, but be sure to get us, and I'll see you again next week with some more stocks.